Treaty 6 was signed by the Plains and Wood Cree people and the Crown at Fort Carlton and Duck Lake on August 23, 1876, and was later signed at Fort Pitt on September 9, 1876. Fort Carlton was a Hudson's Bay Company trading post and was located on a major crossroad of water and land routes and easy accessible, which is why it was likely chosen to be a location of the signing. The treaty-making process was a long process that was aided by a translator at every step. At first, there was much opposition from the First Nations towards the treaty, as many aspects of the treaty, like European governance, that undermined traditional values. However, in the face of declining buffalo herds, starvation, and settlement of lands, negotiation began. Succeeding negotiations, the pipe ceremony was done, and finally came the signing of the treaty. In exchange for yielding their lands in what is now known as Alberta and Saskatchewan, and promising to upkeep order on the reserves, the Canadian government promised Aboriginals land reserves, annual cash payments, twine and ammunition, farm animals, agriculture tools, a school on the reserve, the right to hunt, trap, and fish, access to medicine chest, and relief during times in need or famine. The treaty provided sovereignty in the sense that First Nations were able to do as they wished on their plots of land to an extent. As well, the First Nations were granted food sovereignty. With the right to pursue fishing, hunting, and trapping, the spirit and intent of treaties from a First Nations perspective was based on the belief that the Creator witnessed the treaty negotiations and provided guidance through sacred ceremonies such as the pipe stem ceremony. And because the Creator witnessed the negotiations, all people involved would tell the truth and act in good faith. In 1999, it was found that the Crown violated an aspect of Treaty 6. A First Nations trapper was prosecuted for building a hunting cabin, which was found to violate the right of First Nations to hunt as they traditionally did. There is also a current case between the Beaver Lake Cree Nation and the governments of Alberta and Canada over the furthering resource development and the effects on hunting. Today there's an annual recognition day in Edmonton that celebrates the relationships that was formed between the Plains and Wood Cree people with the signing of Treaty 6. Another way Treaty 6 is still significant today is the medicine chest clause of the treaty, which most likely signifies what we call Medicare. Now, I'd like to address how the signing of the treaty was significant in the history of Canada. Treaty 6 was significant in advancing the settlement of lands in what is now known as Alberta and Saskatchewan, and it was the first to even mention some sort of medical aid system.